So in this example, we're going to make yet another amortization table, but this time we're going to do an amortization table where we only pay interest right up until the very last payment, and at the very last payment for maturity, we're going to pay off the loan in full, and then pay whatever interest we need to pay as well. Now, overall, this way of doing it is going to cost you more in the long run because we're not going to be having the interest go down each time or anything like that. The interest is going to remain the same until a loan balance is paid off, in which case the interest goes immediately from wherever it was back down to zero, because once we paid off the loan, we no longer owe any more interest. All right, so here it says to prepare the amortization table of a $100,000 loan for a 5-year term, annual payments at an interest rate of 8% per annum with a single installment at maturity. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for this one. I'm going to first write the period in years, so the number of years, then the loan balance, then the capital paid, which will be zero for a lot of this, just based on the way this one works. Then the interest paid each year, and then the capital plus interest together, so the full payment. Okay, now let's draw some lines. There we go. Okay, so the years, that's going to be year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5, like that. And then for loan balance, the loan balance is going to be $100,000 the first year. And then it's actually going to stay $100,000 every single time until it gets fully paid off. So $100,000 the second year, it's still at $100,000 the third year, still at $100,000 the fourth year, and still at $100,000 the fifth year. And then there's going to be no sixth year because it does get fully paid off then at year 5. As for the capital that's paid off is going to be nothing until the very last year, until year 5 at maturity. So capital paid 0, 0, 0, 0, and then very last year we fully pay off the capital. We pay off the full $100,000. Now, what about the interest? Well, even if we decided we're paying nothing towards the capital, we still must make annual payments at the interest rate of 8%. So what is 8% of $100,000? Well, that would be $8,000. So therefore, the interest the first year we pay is $8,000. And even after paying that, we still haven't paid off any of the loan balance. And so therefore, the next year, we have to pay another $8,000 because we kept the loan for another year, kept it for another year, another $8,000, kept it for another year, another $8,000, and then kept it for the last year, another $8,000 paid. So then the capital plus interest, well, in the first 4 years, we only pay interest. So capital of 0 plus interest of 8,000 for the first 4 years is just going to be 8,000. And then for the last year, it's going to be 108,000, right? Because it's going to be the full 100,000 for the full balance paid off, plus the interest owed for keeping that loan for yet another year. So therefore, 108,000 is going to be paid very last. And there we go. So overall, the total capital paid off was $100,000, since that's how much was initially borrowed. As for the interest paid overall, it was $40,000 overall that was paid in interest, $8,000 5 times. And then the capital plus interest was $140,000 overall. And so this is a more expensive way to do it overall than if we had paid some before, because then our interest would have gone down. We would have been putting more towards capital, and we wouldn't have had to make such a big payment right at the end, right? Or let's say we made a big payment right at the beginning, right? Very soon after we took the loan out. Although in that case, why take it out to begin with, potentially, right? But had we paid it earlier, there'd be less years of interest. Or let's say we drag this out for 5 more years. Well, then that would just be another $40,000 of interest we'd have to pay. And that's typically why it's good in general in most cases to try to pay off any high interest debt, especially as soon as possible, because then there's less time for that interest to really build up, for that interest to accrue. All right, well, that is it for that one. As always, feel free to leave any questions you might have in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.